I don't think we could possibly improve on this caliber of mass mug.
I think there is one way that we can improve our mug.
No.
Yes. Mug with a hole!
Mug with a hole!
Mug with a hole!
Hey, it's me, Modern Day Matt. That was when James and I were here many years ago talking about this mug with a hole, which is a very mathematically and topologically interesting object, which James was very excited about. And we'll get back to past Matt and James in a moment. First, we need to deal with the original utilities puzzle, and it was James's idea to put this on a mug. And the reason is, if you try to solve this puzzle on a piece of paper, and you may have seen this before, there is a fantastic 3 blue, 1 brown video about it.
Here's the thing about the puzzle. If you try it on a piece of paper, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna hit an issue real fast. So the challenge is, can I link all 3 of these utilities up to all 3 of the houses? I'm completely stuck when I try to run the gas pipeline because this house here is completely surrounded by this barrier. So no matter what I do, I can run it to the other ones. I can get it all the way up to that one. Oops, I should have gone to that one. No, oh no, wait, I can sneak it in here. Here it is. I can run that one. Phew! But I absolutely cannot run the gas to that house there because this is absolutely impossible on a flat surface. It is, however, possible on a donut or a toroidal surface. So we have a exact recreation of the mug. Producer Nicole was able to put that together. The houses are the same size, just some of them are closer. There's the topology of a donut. Now, because unlike the flat plane, where there's no way to get the pipes to cross because you're stuck on this surface, because here what you can do is you can send one pipe up the top, and instead of it going, so we'll take them from the houses this time. So if I had one pipe coming up, so the green's on the right, and I had the red on the left, I can swap them over before they get to the other side, because the red I can send all the way around like that and under, whereas this one here, I can send it down and then out the other side and up over here. So because of the global topology of this surface, it is solvable. And what James Grime realized is that famously a mug is a donut, or at least it's topologically equivalent to a donut because it has a hole in it. Not the hole where the coffee goes, that's just a dent. It's got an actual hole over here. And because it's a glazed surface, and that's the original one we made a short run of. Now this is like the commercial one, which I was drinking coffee out of a second ago. And because it's glazed, it works like a whiteboard. So you can use whiteboard markers and you can try and solve it. And because you can send one pipe around and under the handle and another pipe over the handle, it can be solved. So I love this mug so much because it's like capitalizing on the mug as a donut thing. But you don't need to get like a printed one. You can just get any blank mug, get some whiteboard markers, and you can try and solve it. It's so much fun. But for me, I love this object, which is why you may have noticed in a lot of my videos throughout now many years, you will see me drinking out of one of these. Okay, you can see what I'm doing on the side of the cards. We're definitely shuffling a truncated icosahedron. That is a great thing about doing a live show. Hello, and welcome to the Matt Show. Right, 5 degrees, truly ridiculous things 50 times. But now, there's a new mug in town. And when James first made these, I had a few questions. First of all, how many holes does this mug have?
Interesting question.
Yeah, because there's still the handle one over here.
Yes.
There's still the one here.
Yes.
No one turned any of this into a GIF. And because there's like a tube there, so does that...
Yeah, do you know, when I first saw this kind of mug before, I thought, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how many holes it had. Was it 2? Was it 3? Was it 2.5? Is this like a perforated torus?
Is it a simple, like, can you get it down to a disc with holes in it?
So this is how you solve it. Okay, this is how you imagine it. Let's say we're making one of these mugs with clay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So imagine we're starting with a disc of clay.
Yep.
Right, now let's start with a bridge. We'll make a bridge from one side to the other side of the circle. Yeah, and that's one hole, right. Now I'm going to take my clay pancake and sort of fold it up into a mug shape. So that bridge is going through.
Yep.
And I'm drill a hole now through
Two
that.
holes.
2 holes. Add a handle to it.
3 holes.
3 holes.
3 holes.
And it is 3 holes.
A mug with 3 holes.
It's 3 holes!
Don't worry if you found past James's discussions about clay pancakes a little hard to follow. You really need to kind of be able to see it happening to properly get your head around it. And I was inspired by the classic animation, and we just got this off Wikipedia, that shows a mug becoming a donut. And for me, that really helps clarify exactly what's going on. But all you're doing is you're flattening out the rest of the mug. I thought I'd try and do an equivalent for the mug with a hole. I'm not able to do good 3D renders, so I thought I'd ask a few of my friends to help out, and a couple responded. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go with Eugenie. So she does VFX for films, hugely overqualified for this task. I asked her very nicely to animate it, and she came out with this fantastic animation. You still have to watch it a couple of times to track the bit, like the under the bridge bit becoming a tube, and then she's made the whole thing a little bit transparent so you can see the tube move around. But if you stare at it for long enough and you watch it go backwards and forwards, you can convince yourself that yes, the mug with a hole is equivalent to a disc with 3 holes in it, a 3-holed donut, if you will. I should say for completeness, the other friends who got back to me when I did a call out were my good buddies Morgan and West, and they said they had an excellent way to demonstrate this becoming a donut with 3 holes in it.
That's a pretzel.
You're a pretzel.
You're a donut.
5 houses, 5 utilities. We've got 25 lines. Right, so compare that with the classic mug here. We will have 9 lines, 3 houses, 3 utilities. No, 25 lines. So it can be done. Yeah, I've definitely done this before.
I've not successfully done it, right? Because you've got to go through the middle hole.
Yeah.
You've also got to use the handle as the classic, but then you've got to go in and under.
Somehow use the bridge as well.
Could we have done 5 utilities with fewer holes?
So absolutely not, no. So you need 3 holes to solve this problem for 5 utilities. Now we've done 4 utilities, 4 houses. That in fact can be solved with a 1-hole mug.
We could have done that on the original.
We could have done it, and hey, do it yourself. If you've got one of these classic mugs, okay, make it harder. Okay, we're gonna just draw in an extra house. We'll have an extra utility there.
And it's still solvable.
And we can still solve this on the classic mug with 4 houses, 4 utilities. But if you want to go up a step, you do want to go up a step. 5 houses, 5 utilities, you need one of these.
But James, how will I know for any number of utilities how many holes my mug will require?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
There is a formula for that. There is. There is a formula. Check out this formula.
There it is. The question a lot of people have now is, why is there an equation for working out how many holes a mug has to have to be able to put a utilities puzzle on it? And it's because this is actually a whole other interesting and serious bit of mathematics. We're trying to link graphs, or what people often call networks, which is what we're using this to force you to try and do, draw a planar network, and what genus surface those graphs can be drawn on or embedded into such that they don't have lines that cross. And genus is just how many holes does the surface have. This donut is genus 1, single hole. This surface on the mug here is genus 3. And so what these are doing is just saying, what genus do you need to be able to have a graph which links n points to all of m points, but none of the two sets connect to themselves. This is actually called a complete bipartite graph, and they don't have to be the same number. You could have different numbers of houses, different numbers down here, and it's a very interesting, worthwhile bit of mathematics to investigate how these sorts of networks behave and what happens when they're on different surfaces. And I enjoy them so much. You may have noticed a mug over here I've not been talking about. Famously, there's a thing called the four-color problem, which on a flat surface, if you divide it up into regions and you want to have them all different colors, so no two regions that touch are the same color, you have to have four or fewer. There are cases that will force you to need all four colors, but that's only for a flat surface. Genus 0, whereas genus 1, you might need 7 colors, which is why I designed this mug to show on a donut it's possible to force 7 different colors. And so there are 7 different regions. I've numbered each one, and every single region touches all 6 other regions to show that this is a coloring in pattern that forces you to use 7 colors. I will put the design in the description below if you'd like to make your own one of these. And I think it's really interesting that the 4-color problem on a flat map becomes the 7-color problem on a mug. But if you want to combine it all together, how many colors would you need to color in any conceivable map on a genus 3 mug? Well, would you believe? There's another equation. New equation. Now, this time, you might have noticed, instead of having the ceiling function where you round up to the nearest whole number, you've now got to round down to the nearest whole number. And this is subtly different because this equation, you put in the number of the 2 sets of nodes on your graph, and it will tell you what genus you need. This is the other way around. You put in the genus you've got, and it will tell you the maximum number of colors you might need to color any conceivable map or, collection of contacting regions on that surface. And for a standard mug, you put 1 in there, and this gives you 7, which is why I was able to do the 7-color mug. If you had genus 2, so 2 handles, this would give you 8. And if you were to put in 3 for our friend here, it would give you 9. So technically, if you have one of these mugs, you can divide it up into 9 regions such that every single region contacts all 8 other regions. Or potentially, you can definitely do it such that it will force you to need 9 colors. Subtly different. I don't want to accidentally state something that's not completely precise. And why stop there? Let's say you had a mug with 6 holes. You'd need 12 colors. And 7 holes. You'd need 12 colors. Because both of these involve rounding, you can have multiple values that go in that give you the same output, which is why 12 colors will do you for 6 holes and 7 holes. Indeed, if you had 100 different colors at your disposal, that would do everything from a mug with 776 handles right up to a mug with 792 handles. Now that's a mug with a lot of holes. We didn't do a new version of the song for that. So that's it with mugs with holes in them or different numbers of handles. You can buy both of these on Massgear if you would like them, or depending on if we can find a supplier, toroidal balloons. Occasionally, we are like the world's only stockist of toroidal balloons. They're real hard to come by. If we have any, they'll be on the website, but occasionally we're out. These we tend to always have, although that's why we filmed a thing about this many years ago. It was right before the pandemic, and then we couldn't get enough mugs. And it felt a bit ridiculous to put the video out if people couldn't then go and get a mug if they wanted one. So now we have loads of mugs, we're finally making the video. I'd like to thank Past Matt and Past James for their incredible patience, but you don't need to buy them, just get a blank mug. You can do, well, you can get other mugs with hole, like this is an off-the-shelf thing, would you believe? You get like novelty golf mugs, like hole-in-one, ha ha ha. So you could just get a generic mug and draw on it and explore these things. I will link to some more of the mass below, but that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all now go and enjoy a nice hot mug of topology.